How you doing, folks? This past Sunday was the 21-year anniversary of 9/11. Us here at the Around the Roast podcast would like to give our condolences to the families that have lost loved ones on 9/11 and are still losing their loved ones to the 9/11 cancer. Just give you a brief what went down that day if you don't remember. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 with a crew of 11 passengers of 76 crashed into the North Tower. At 9:03 a.m., United Flight 175 with a crew of 9, 51 passengers on board, crashed into the South Tower. Just between those planes alone was a total of 2,606 souls. At 9:37, American Airlines Flight 77, crew of 6, 53 passengers crashed into the Pentagon. At 10:03, United Flight 93, crew of 7, 33 passengers on board, crashed into Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Between those two planes, that was a total of 2,731 souls that were lost. Also on 9/11, 343 FDNY, 55 military personnel were killed at the Pentagon. And law enforcement was 71 souls were killed that day. 6,000 innocent lives between civilians and everything else was lost. That is not including the 19 hijackers. Again, 9/11 will live in infamy, which was summed up by FDR when he talked about December 7th, 1941, which was a day that will live in infamy when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. How we doing on this Tuesday night? Oh, sorry about that. I'm John. As always, I am joined with Costa. Ryan is running a little bit late tonight. He's having some tech issues, so he will be here soon. But Costa, how you doing this evening, buddy?
Everything's good, boss. I'm excited to get into this week of wrestling. We have a lot of things to talk about, so let's get right to it.
Yes, we do. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It costs you guys nothing. Does wonders for us. If you're watching us on Facebook, you're either watching us through the Around the Ropes podcast page or the ATR Network page. Hit the like button, hit the follow button. Again, it does wonders for us. It's free for you, and we here at the Around the Ropes podcast love to give stuff for free. I mean, that's just how we roll. We do have two guests coming on tonight. The first one at 8:30 will be Ruthless LaLa, about, I would say, 10 days or so ahead of her match with Isiah Wolf happening at Pro Wrestling Magic. And also she is the Bree Women's Champion, so we'll have to get into that with her. And then we have another guest coming on at 9 or around 9 o'clock. Mike Morgan, owner of Ace Pro Wrestling, will be joining us.
Nice.
Costa, like our producer Carl was talking about in the cold opening tonight. Yes, folks, tonight's episode will be dedicated to all the lives lost on that fateful day 21 years ago.
I have a funny story about that if I can get into it quickly.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So, when I heard about the 9/11 or when it happened, I was probably in grade 7 or 8. So at that time, I was part of a program called Future Possibilities. So what I decided to do was put together an event to raise money for everyone, or basically the victims of the families that were involved in 9/11. So I decided to put together a basketball tournament, which I was able to raise over, I think, over $800, if I'm not mistaken, maybe more than that, but I think it's over $800. Dedicating a basketball tournament to the victims and the families of 9/11.
We're being joined up by our producer, Carl. Carl, what's going on?
So I remember that day vividly. I was working for a printing company, and what we did was we would go out and we would get local businesses to buy ad spots on the folders or back to school stuff that the kids would use at school. Well, I was running late, and my mother yells out to me, "Turn on the TV." What the heck? Turn it on. I'm watching it. And I'm just staring at the TV. I'm like, why am I watching a movie? And then this is when the second plane hits at 9:03. I pick up the phone. I call in. I turn and says, "I'm not coming in. I'm going to the firehouse." And as soon as I said the word firehouse, my tone plectron went off because I was a volunteer firefighter. And all of a sudden, it said, "Any available members report to your firehouse immediately. This is not a drill."
Wow.
I was down there for 24 hours. Most people around the area here knew somebody that was killed that day.
Yeah.
My captain of the firehouse at the time, lost his cousin that day. His cousin was assigned to Ladder 27, and he went to another company as a relief because they were a man short. So he's like, "Oh, screw it, I'll go." And he lost his day. We actually made a patch with the number 27 on the helmet for that particular day. And all money raised went to the families. Now, one thing I'm going to say is you need to watch about the scams that are out there saying they are for 9/11. If that's the case, talk to the FDNY itself.
Yeah.
And
our good buddy Ryan is here.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry for the tardiness.
It's okay.
My laptop's acting up. I don't know what the hell is going on.
It's all right.
You're good.
Technical difficulties are part of our daily lives right now.
So Ryan, real quick, since you're just jumping on, what do you remember of 9/11?
Oh, man. Of course I come on, and that's when the hard-hitting questions come in. So let me just fix my camera here, folks. Sorry. So what I remember on 9/11 was I remember being in starting 4th grade. I remember the teacher's name too. It was Miss Naroda. And all of a sudden I remember our principal saying that there was a very, very monotone-ish, depressing sound that apparently that's when one of the planes hit the towers. The first one was when the first plane hit the. What's up?
8:46 a.m. was the first plane.
Yep. And then also I remember because back in the day I used to go to aftercare because my mother was a single mother and no one was home. My mother actually left her office to go to the aftercare that I was at and tried getting all the parents, all the kids that were there, try to get in contact with their parents because we didn't know, because nobody knew what was going to be happening next, or some of them could be working in the city at the time. Who knows? But yeah, I still can't believe it. 21 years later.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go on this one, and I'll show that I'm the true youngest one in this group by far, because I was in 3rd grade when everything happened, and I remember they didn't tell us at school at the time.
Really?
They didn't tell us. Only way I knew about it. Now, to pull back the curtain a little bit, both my parents are former city teachers. Okay? My mom taught in Queens for about, probably 30-something years. My dad taught in Brooklyn. So my mom was home early that day, and I thought it was kind of odd because she never came home before I did. Now, folks, in Long Island, a lot of the schools they let out usually by 3:15. The elementary schools, so I would usually be the first one home. All of a sudden, she was home, and she's on the phone talking to a friend of hers who she worked with, and she gets off the phone when I come walking in the house, and I go, "What's wrong?" Because my dad wasn't home yet, and I'm like, "Something happened." And she looked at me. She goes, "I don't know if Dad's coming home tonight." I'm. How old are you in third grade? 7, maybe 8.
Something like that.
Yeah, around that ballpark.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to poke fun at the fact that I'm clueless most of the time, but I was clueless at that moment. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, and because at that point you have to understand something. Nobody had said anything to me yet of what had happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I turned on the news. And at that point, they weren't doing like the 4:00 news. They were doing news all day back then.
Yes, it was.
And at that point, I still didn't grasp the whole thing of it because I was still young. I didn't understand what was going on. It wasn't until years later that I actually understood what actually happened that day. And here's actually an interesting story. Where I used to live, I had a neighbor across the street from us whose husband was a sergeant, I think it was, for the NYPD. He was in whichever the second building was that came down.
South Tower.
South Tower. He was in the garage of the South Tower as it came down.
Oh God!
Only way he survived was he dove under a truck.
Wow!
That's how he survived.
Now here's an interesting fact. Out of that entire rubble, 21 souls were saved. There was only 21 survivors that entire day.
I mean, you saw the images
of those that went in.
Yeah.
You saw the images of, the people they had. I think Time Magazine had it. Of the people that, I mean, you were screwed if you were right above that floor because there was no way of going. The only way you were going down, folks, is either you went down when the building went down, or you just had
jumped out the window.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I will remember is the Mets right after that whole thing happened.
Mike Piazza's home run.
They just did a special actually on SNY a couple days ago, commemorating it. And originally that Shea Stadium was actually supposed to be where they were going to store a lot of the FDNY trucks.
Yep.
And they ended up changing their mind, and instead that's how it became. Basically, they load up a lot of trucks heading to the city. My other memory of that was going to the city probably a couple months after, where you still saw all the rubble was there, and you had the one beam that looked like a cross right in the dead center. I'll never forget that.
That cross is actually inside the museum.
And I'm somebody who actually was lucky enough to go into that museum, and I will say this right now: if you were lucky enough to go, I highly recommend you go.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's one place I want to get to.
Oh yeah,
I've been there. I've been there a few times, and I definitely want to go back.
Oh, me too.
And I also want to go to the 100. I also want to go to the 102nd floor observatory in One World Trade.
Yep.
And last thing I'm going to say, then I want to get into some wrestling talk.
Yeah.
My aunt on my mom's side of the family was actually part of the legal team when the Trade Center was originally built in the 70s.
Ooh.
She was part of that whole legal team.
Oh wow,
John. One last thing for me. I was there a week before that happened.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
And I'll see if I can find it, because obviously, you guys know I do the show in the basement where all my dad's collectible stuff is. And somewhere in there, I got to find it. I'll post it up on our socials. He actually has paperwork that a student of his at the time got that you still see all the burnt marks on it. Guys, like I said, tonight's show will be dedicated to it. Will be dedicated to all those victims of that entire day.
I do want to add one more thing, if you guys don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Well, two quick things. Number one, I remember going in about a month after it happened also, and I remember I pointed this out to my mother. One of the traffic lights melted.
Yep.
And still hanging there. Still hanging.
Still, man. Wow.
And then right by the church that did not get destroyed.
Which was a miracle.
Really. For those that don't know, I think it was like one of the firehouses nearby. You walk around the corner and there was a massive mural of like postcards and drawings and
Ladder 10, engine 10.
Thank you. I remember
Because
seeing
that firehouse
and
was built to protect the World Trade Center.
Really?
I remember seeing that entire.
And it took them 4 years to rebuild.
Yeah, but like I said, guys, tonight's episode will be dedicated to the victims and to the survivors.
Yes.
Of
You
it.
got to remember too, John, a lot of people, 21 years later, people are still dying from the 9/11 cancer, which is actually a lot more than what was killed in 9/11.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the interesting thing. Do you know one of the guys who was supposed to be on that plane going to New York was actually Seth MacFarlane?
One even better, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but I remember
overslept.
And I remember hearing the story about Seth MacFarlane. I'm like, wow. That just blew me away. But guys, let's get into some wrestling talk. Let's escape all the day-to-day stuff. And I want to get quickly, before we jump in with the slalom a little bit, I want to get to the show that Ryan was actually at on Friday.
Okay.
WrestlePro, September. The show that I texted him and said he may need a new attire for.
I'm going to say this right here on air, John. You're not allowed to say that. That it's only me.
Well, I was trying to make him feel like he was,
No, you got to come up with your own line. I'm the only one that's allowed to say that to him and Mr. Shane Fair, that they need a new attire.
Okay. You heard it here, folks.
Okay.
You do. But I will say this much, Joe. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to see it, I definitely recommend you seeing it. You can get it on Fight TV. I think it costs $14.99.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great matches. The match I want to get to quickly, right? And you know exactly which match I'm going to talk about. Was your main event with Moff and Brian Myers. I thought that when we were at Bree combination, I thought that Bree, when Hunt took on Carter, I thought those guys damn near killed each other. No. No. This was my first exposure to Danny Moff.
Yeah.
Just wait until the 24th
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
and see him in person.
Yes, guys, we actually have a comment coming in.
Oh,
A comment already.
Yes. And it's Brian, somebody you know very well. Oh,
I mean, right now he's not lying. I'll tell you that.
hold
By
on
the
a
way,
second. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull this back up for a second here. Mr. Saint, on behalf of Around the Ropes podcast, happy birthday, brother. We
Happy
love
birthday,
you.
Mr.
Happy
Saint.
birthday, Willy Wonka.
Happy birthday. Many more. Enjoy your day, boss.
yes.
Happy
We also
birthday,
have another
Willy
comment
Wonka.
coming in from Mickey. What's up, fellas?
Hey,
What's
up,
going on,
Mickey?
Mickey?
Hi,
Thank you.
Mickey.
I'm glad you can join us tonight, buddy. But yeah, Moff and Myers. Oh my freaking God Almighty!
Yeah.
Mop, when he hits, the crowd feels it.
Oh yeah.
I want somebody on this podcast to get chopped by him. I want somebody on this podcast to get chopped. You're
Get
welcome.
done.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome, bud.
But yeah,
Time out. We have
Yes,
our
sir.
guest here.
Okay.
Now, John, introduce our guest.
guys, our first guest this evening doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to give her one anyways. She's one of the best competitors that comes out of Bray. She's actually set to have a match at Pro Wrestling Magic against Isiah Wolf, and it's match 3 of 5 that they're doing right now. She's also your current Bray Women's Champion, the one, the only, Miss Ruthless LaLa.
Yay,
Miss LaLa, how are you?
man. I'm not feeling too good. But I like to keep my word. So I am here to answer all questions and have a blast at the same time. I'm trying to get my headset to work, but for some reason today's just not my day. So, but I can hear y'all perfectly, and I guess I don't need these headphones on, even though it says it's connected. You know what? I'm gonna try something. Hold on, wait. Maybe if I put it-
Everybody's having technical difficulties today. This is great, folks.
Not to worry. My headphones don't work on StreamYard either, so it might be. I don't know if it's the same thing, but not to worry about any of that. It's okay.
But, Carl, would you like to ask the first question?
So, Miss LaLa,
I think she's trying something.
okay.
Yeah, I think she was. I think she said she was going to try something. So,
All right.
We could wait a second or two. We could give her a minute.
Yes.
but anyway, Moff and Meyer.
Okay.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
So, Miss LaLa, on the 24th, it is you versus Isiah Wolf. Match number 3. What is your game plan going into the match?
It's kind of I guess it's like a butterfly effect, you know. Isaiah knows me better than my own mother, and people get really shocked and like, wait, it's mom, like, you know, like this is not a game. This is not something that's cool, you know, like legit. Isaiah Wolf is my best friend from my day one, you know. When I saw her a year and a half, he was the only person. There was a select of sheep and he was one of the main people that ever came. He had my back, he was always there for me. And vice versa. So coming back from injury, not even an injury, my health is the chronic skin disease that I have. Was a lot. Like there's times I almost checked out. And so being able to return back something that I can't begin to explain. So I didn't have a match that I really wanted when I returned. So, you know, I knew that if somebody was going to push me to my limits and pretty much, I should say, stop my system and get me back to where I used to be, it was going to be Isaiah. It wasn't going to, you know, like, this is what I thought. And just mad disrespect. Anybody who knows me know I don't like bullshit, and I don't like trash talking. You know, like if you don't want to wrestle me, say you don't want to wrestle. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, you know, there's a reason why I don't want to wrestle you. But it was constant. You got to ask these people and ask this person and ask this person. And you know, like there's a certain level of respect that you have for your A1 and B1 compared to a lot of other people. You know, I'm pretty sure y'all have best friends that were there's some stuff that your best friend can get away with, nobody else can get away with. And you know, your best friends like always push your button, try to push and see how far they can go at that line. You know, and I think I tried to do this the right way. You know, I had a private conversation with him. That was funny. But, and here's my thing: I never said that I didn't do. I told him to his face, I'm gonna do pro. We're gonna go. And you know, it's you all, but you know, we all listen. You know, and that's how that was. So hey, this is what I want. Now I refuse to get to see. I don't want to do this. It was just constant respect. It was call my government name. I'm not to dog condition. I'm not gonna dog Isiah Wolf as a person or individual or a wrestler. I will give dues where dues are. He's one of the most hybrid technical wrestlers I personally can't do. But at the same time, I forgot who I am. There's a reason why I'm called Ruthless. There's a reason why I'm the queen guy. I always get what I want. The one thing that's the biggest thing ever, especially when it comes to a man, nothing is more disrespectful than you being in a man's house or on his turf, going around riding his colors, hanging out with his family and friends, taking pictures, getting invited to barbecue, have a blast, and it can be touched. My emotions prohibit me from winning the first match. At the same time, like this is personal, but at the same time, I don't want to really hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Like I just literally want to slightly be some substance to him, and I think that's where we're at. So he had the first one, and the second one was Morristown, West Virginia, for wrestling, and it was also a qualifying match for the Fuzz Fest tournament. I mean, his own game. You can have him on here, he's gonna see what he wants to see. At the end of the day, I mean, his own game, didn't like it. And he decided to jack up my Larigo, and I had to literally go through the tournament with pretty much one arm, but it didn't matter. I still won. I even won, and I actually went on to win the tournament. I could have been enjoying myself in the tournament because he came in and whooped my ass. I can't really tell you what happened. I hit. It was an all-out win, so one bounce for me. This match is no different. I've literally been embarrassed when it comes to being at Ridgefield. That's where our first altercation happened. I was attacked after I had my debut at WrestleMagic. So going back to where it started, it's a lot of history, but it's not going to be any different than the second match. I'm walking and walk out with victory. He fails to realize that as much as he knows me, vice versa. I know inside and out. I always text. It's off. I know what's going to get under his skin. So September 24th, starting with long Wednesday, it's going to be no different. It's going to be 2-1. And I'm going on to match 4, and it's going to be 3-1. And after I whoop his ass, hopefully he'll go back and I get my best friend back, and we can go by doing business normally. Hopefully, in all caps, like little things, besides things. Hopefully, we can only hope.
Costa?
I just wanted to ask.
Don't look at me like that, John.
Okay.
John, stop it. Don't give me glasses. Stop that. I said what I said. You find out you got all the strong. You got to say what's strong. You got to know what don't you? Don't you? I'm looking at you, John. I'm looking at you. You're good. You're playing.
All right. So I just wanted to ask, do you have a favorite place or a place that you have not wrestled that you want to wrestle in? A stadium or a place of a destination?
Honestly, I really want to go beyond wrestling and show my naked ass. Not literally, but figuratively. It's not just that I want to go for a very long time. As I was sitting at home and for a year and a half, all I did was watch WTV, title match on TV, and I saw a lot of emotions that I wanted to be part of. One of the emotions that I was able to finally be a part of was WrestlePro. I had a blast, and another promotion that I wanted to work for, I'm actually doing it this weekend, which is Garden wrestling. I'm really excited. I'm gonna go to Prestige in California. I want to go to WrestlePro. I want to go to PCW up there. Man, every place in New York to a certain extent that I want to wrestle, I've been able to wrestle. I can't lie, I do want to. I would love to wrestle for expected unexpected. I love to wrestle for enjoy wrestling. Violence and suffering. Definitely want to go there and fuck shit up respectfully. CW in Delaware. NYWC.
Okay. Thank you.
When I working for Catalyst Wrestling,
Yeah.
just to go shake things up a little bit, I really want to be a part of the Super 8 the next time I come back around and get a ECWA, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, like that's definitely the place that I want to go. And my thing. Why are you looking at me like that, John? I like your glasses. I feel like you like trying to stay inside my soul. What is this, John? I feel like that's when you kept you saying.
John, it's time for your question now.
Yes, John. What's your question, John?
Oh, great. Ruthless LaLa, what got you into wrestling? Was there a specific match or a specific moment?
I'm a huge fan of the Undertaker. So honestly, as a kid, I lived a very sheltered life because I'm a Regis kid. At that time, the denomination that world was Pentecostal. If anybody knows about Pentecostal, everything is them. So I got my first reference since I was 18 years old. There was a lot of stuff that I couldn't watch. On top of that, I was my mom's only child, so that was really fun. I just had me turning man, and it was around the time the Undertaker was fucked over by Paul Bearer. That's a whole world of fucking up all day. Someone was like, mess me up. Like, I was trying. Like, why am I trying to even who the hell this is? Like, why am I emotional? And I didn't ever just live. It's crazy. Like, it's done. Like, how would I do this? And, it had me emotionally invested where I wanted to see what happened. And when I saw that, he came back, I was like, oh shit! Let's go! I'm excited! It's like, after that, I kept watching, and I just started. It was very difficult because my mom didn't love it. And that was around the time, Shotgun Saturday started happening. And if you've ever seen the entrance Shotgun Saturday, it was very adultish. Very. So that was something that man, it was a struggle. But it would be watching on stage, watching how the crowd reacted to everything that he did, like how they reacted to the story. It let me know that this is something that I could definitely do, and something that I want to be when I grew up. Did I answer your question, John?
Yes, it does.
Mr. Peterson, your turn now.
Okay, so you have such an illustrious career, and as you always say, every match you're in, you always try to fuck the church's money, and you succeed every single time. If you had to pick just one moment, out of...
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah, no, she's there. If you had to pick one moment, just like one match or one opponent that you thought was absolutely the best that you've ever had, just one, who would it be and why? Now I'm really putting you on the spot.
First off, I don't like you put me on the spot like that. Now you let Mr. John. I appreciate that. Man. Okay. All right.
Yeah, really throwing you on the spot here.
Just remember, when I see I'm punching right in the left nipple. Right in the left nipple. Now be scared now. Be scared now. I got you when I see you. Right in the left nipple. Punching right in the left nipple. I don't think I can answer that by saying one person because honestly, since I've been back, there's been a couple of matches that I've had that has made me very emotional, in a good way. So I think you said what I'm giving you three. It would it would definitely have to be out of day. It keeps me on my toes. I hate them, but at the same time, exactly what I wanted, I'm getting, which is to be pushing my limits. And Ash is gonna have to be the next person. I'm not scared of nobody. I fear nobody. No man, woman, see. I like to say that my hands are equal opportunities. Anybody can catch. And Aaron is one of those people who, kind of one of those situations of you don't want to mess with, kind of like the new guy situation. If you ever watch the movie, it's the new guy situation. You find a big motherfucker and knock him out. And so that's what I proceeded to do. I didn't catch the win, but I went to that, so I was happy. It was one of those things where I got pushed my limits again, and that's something that I just really have a blast with. My third answer is going to be like a two-part answer. It's going to have to be, as far as women, it's going to have to be Damaris. I had a blast wrestling Damaris. I wrestled her one-on-one at Shadow Alliance for the BCW Championship. And Damaris is too hard. And I wrestled her any day of the week. Another person I wrestled any day of the week is Jordan Blake. I haven't had an opportunity to wrestle Jordan Blake one-on-one. But, the true fact that I made my debut, just testing the waters with Jordan was by far an amazing time. And I had a blast, honestly. So, the wins out of the three, your face, you want.
Carl?
So, in the upcoming future, after this tournament, best out of 5 happens, who would you like to start your next feud with?
Oh, you come with it. Okay. All right. I know this is me. It's between two people. 3 actually. Damn it. The main person, we have to. It's a respect thing. And all want to shut them up. Very hard.
Okay.
I've known Darius for a very long time, and Darius is by far one of the most hated individuals ever, and I respect that because he sticks to his shit, and no matter how much people don't like him, I have to respect his technique and his skills and in-ring abilities because it's not like anybody else's. So, I believe the feud between me and Darius Carter would definitely be a knee slapper, as the old folks say. O'Shea Edwards, will be another. I've been on the show for a very long time. That's the Bro. James Taylor will be another one. Also, the Bro I know for a very long time as well. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I always underestimated this one individual, and it had signed, and I was heartbroken, and then they wasn't signed anymore. Then it was signed, and then I'm back in the so, oh man, I've been on some manifest shit, so I'm trying to manifest, but man, I would love to see with my guy back. Not all y'all that ever knew it, they're like, yeah, we're here for this.
And you had to bring up Carter's name.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what that means. I mean, are you ever judging because you're just itchy? I mean, did you get booted?
I will tell you why I brought up Mr. Carter's name and started rubbing my chest. After the SummerSlam show that you were at, we went to the watch along. That this man decided to accept a spicy chip challenge. That this man was the MC for. Yeah. This is how it went down. If I won, John gets a chest slap from a wrestler of my choice, and he got shaved bald. If I lost, I would get a chest slap from a wrestler of his choice, and my beard would have been shaved bald. So, Ryan, since you were the MC, you could continue this part because this now falls under you because you made that decision.
So, both John and Carl, mostly John, surprisingly, lasted longer than expected in the one chip challenge. And this was about, 15, 20 minutes in at this point?
21 minutes total.
All right, 21 minutes in total. They decided to come to a compromise of, both of them getting a chop and John getting his head shaved. So, John got his head shaved, but first they had to do the chops. John's choice was Mr. Darius Carter. And of course, me being the MC, I was kind of egging him on a little bit. Because
what happened was the last time Mr. Carter was on our show was right before Queen of the North 3 when he lost the title to Marina. Well, I overheard John talking to Carter about this. And John had no idea who I chose until that day.
Yeah, they've been thinking about it for a long time. I knew exactly who it was, but I wasn't telling him.
So I approached the wrestler after the show while we were there. And this person said, "Oh, yes, I'm involved. Mr. Blaine got a chop from Marina Shafir."
And took it very well.
Yep.
To the point that even Marina said that was actually the best reaction of a chop that she's ever seen in a long time.
And that was his first time ever getting a chop too.
Yeah.
But Darius left a handprint for 2 days on my chest.
Well, that's what happens. Well, that's what happens when. Well, you're forgetting the most important part. Someone offered him $100 to take off his shirt before Carter did it. He took the 100, took the shirt off, and that's why the mark was there for 2 days.
And I'm going to throw that person under the bus. It was Mr. Anthony Cole that laid down that $100 challenge.
Yeah, it was Anthony.
I saw that $100 there. I was like, okay, let's go.
And actually, to getting back the whole thing with Carter chopping Carl, I kind of leaned into him and said, "Hey, by the way, wasn't it his podcast that you went on before you lost the title?" And he put down his wine glass and he's like, "Carl, you dead now."
And he was slightly tapping me, and then all of a sudden, when Ryan said that, it's a little bit harder, and then wham! I was like, "Thank you." And it's on film.
And it's on film.
Yes. And there might be a round 2 in the foreseeable future. Yeah. That's how nutty we are there. But well, I have one more question.
Hey, ask your question. I'm laughing.
If you had the opportunity to go up against any wrestler from the past or the present, who would it be? If you had the opportunity to go up against a wrestler from the past or the present, doesn't matter what promotion they're in or anything, who would it be?
It would, okay, so it's real easy, but it's more than personal. It would be Brian Anderson, John Moxley, Vicky Regal, Ray Luda, Stan Hansen, or not in the order, but yeah.
That's a good one. Ryan, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm actually pretty good because she actually answered all my questions that I had, so I'm good.
Yep.
Costa, do you have any more questions?
I'm good. I'm good for today. Just one last question. What is? Would you mind explaining your daily regimen? Like, if you have a match, before a match, what is your training regimen like, and what is your dietary habits like before a match or before an event?
And so usually, normally, as I'm getting ready for, to even leave the house, I'm on my right, man. I paid my playlist. I smoked like about 2 blunts. And get in my zone, get ready to, get on the road. I watch what I eat because I throw my weight around a lot in the ring. And the last thing that I need to do is go for a breathalyzer and tell somebody to breathe, and then I end up shitting myself. And it's gonna suck because I'm not gonna have on like tight, like the single to be everywhere. I don't want to do that. So like sometimes I wouldn't even eat until after I'm done wrestling because between eating and my nerves, we don't go together at all. So a lot of Jordan Lucas, a lot of Busta Rhymes, a lot of Eminem. I listen to when I'm getting ready to wrestle. In my state, that's where I be with it.
Sorry about that, guys.
All right, thank you. Sounds good. That's all. That's all my questions for today, and thank you for being here. We appreciate it very much.
Well, I know, Ruthless LaLa, on the 24th, not only are you going to see me, but you're going to see him there. So you can give him a chop.
Yes, please give him a chop. Please give him a chop. Please.
Thank you.
You have some nice, like, how could I want that off? No, or I would let you. I would even keep with you. I wouldn't even just like I'll let you get your own portion. I want to. That's the type of guy that I am. You feel me?
Yeah.
I will talk to you off camera of how we could do this. I have an idea.
No. Oh crap.
John, you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I'm very much aware of that.
It's
But-
okay. It's okay, Lala. With some of the stuff he does behind the scenes, he deserves to get chops from you.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you've been fucking the dirty money.
You know the old dum-dum moves? That's him. Yeah.
And especially when he calls people at 11:30 midnight on a work night.
Great.
John.
Yeah,
Right.
I know better not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, not him. He's good. That way.
No,
The other way.
No,
He's good. Lala, the other way.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
there you go.
Well, guys, you maybe find a new host after that weekend. But Ruthless LaLa, where can people find you on social media? What do you have coming up?
You can find me on Twitter at Ruthless LaLa. You can also find me on Instagram, Straight Ruthless, STR, the number 8, RUTHLESS, the number 1. That means you go to Ruthless LaLa. Unfortunately, the Instagram that they have, I can't get back to it. So if you try adding on, I don't do nothing. So I would suggest, Straight Ruthless 1. I'm even changing it to Ruthless LaLa. What happens? Okay, Facebook, Ruthless LaLa, the main time using. Yeah. And you can find me, my, like t-shirt, on Pro Wrestling Tees, and type in Ruthless LaLa. On their style and profiling. Get your shirt for the culture respectfully. I believe those are my social medias. On TikTok as well. Twitch. I haven't been streaming because I've been on tour for a while, so
And then obviously you have Pro Wrestling Magic coming up on the 24th, where it's match 3 against Isiah Wolf.
the 24th, I have Pro Wrestling Magic. Actually, Friday, I'm my debut at Garden State Pro Wrestling. Also, Sunday, I will be at Pro Wrestling R. Saturday, I might just pop up to a show and beat somebody up. I don't know. Depending on how I'm feeling. And then, next week, I got Wolf and CZW after. So, yeah. These 2 weekends coming up is about to be very tiring. I can already tell you, but between the news yesterday and the news that I anticipate for tomorrow, it ain't gonna matter. I'm go above and beyond. It's been my dream to not only be in the BW 500 but also PWI. So I am going to definitely release. I'm gonna be That's something that I would love to finally achieve. So keep fingers crossed. But yeah, these next 2 weekends mean more to me than I can even express. And I'm just trying to mentally get ready for it. I'm ready. My nerves are already hitting me, but we can do it. And I'm walking in pro wrestling match next week. And I'm walking out to win.
But yeah, definitely we look forward to that. And yeah, it looks like I'm walking into something on the 24th. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that.
Great. It's time. We're excited.
But Ruthless LaLa, thank you again for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. And we'll definitely have you on again.
Thank you.
No, man. It was an honor to be here. I appreciate it. Anytime, man. Like, I was expecting like a whole bunch of shit. I can't prepare ready. It's like, I mean, I appreciate y'all having me. It's an honor and pleasure and it's all. Thank you very much. I'm glad I didn't reschedule. I go I'm hurting. We go get to this like this now. I get to be very much. And look at that. I'm shopping. Like, look at that. Oh, what's going to shopping? I'm excited.
Yep, folks, you have that to look forward to on the 24th. Thanks to our producer, Mr. Queen. Great. Ruthless, have a great night, and we'll see you next weekend.
So defeated already.
Sean, you are 100% fucked.
Yeah, Ryan, that's not really breaking news there, Copernicus.
Well, don't. Yeah, you hear the back talk that this guy's giving to me, LaLa? You hear this?
Hey, Ryan, my homie, you said something about too. That's my homie.
Yeah, I'm screwed. So I'm just gonna sit here in the corner.
Yeah, that's a good boy, John. How dare you disrespect me in front of a legend like LaLa? Come on, dude. Come on.
You
Jeez.
guys sound good.
Well, have a great night. We'll
Oh, look, he's turning red already. Not even awesome yet.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what else you have planned that day, Carl, but I guess I'll find out that day.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for having me. Do I push the leave button or I just say get myself out?
Producer.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Do I let myself out or like do I stay or do I go out the exit or
Whatever
You
want
can
to do.
leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. Unless you want to go to bed.
I'm gonna take my medicine and I am gonna try to rest. Like if I wasn't feeling as if I was feeling I would definitely rock with y'all until like y'all stop. But I'm gonna go and rest and lay down for a little bit. Thank y'all so much once again for having me on. John, take care. I'll see you next weekend. I love you guys. Bye. My God. Done. You fucked. Respect. I'll see you later.
Oh, crap. Well, again, folks, you may be seeing a new host here. Come back following Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, you are fucked.
Yeah.
You are fucked, John. Big time.
I kind of walked in halfway through that. What did I exactly just sign up for other than get chest up by Ruthless LaLa?
Oh, you'll find out.
Oh, crap.
Oh, she loves my idea.
John boy, you're in for
Well,
many surprises.
I thought SummerSlam was fun, but I guess
The magic continues. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, David. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes,
Yes, he
never
is.
been demolished now by somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can we not? Let's not give advice. Let's not give
Yes.
advice.
Yes.
And you know, John,
Yes,
I was
yes,
gonna
yes.
throw you under the bus and say publicly what you thought of how you thought Lala's chops are, but I didn't want to be that that rude of a guy and say it to her or to the public.
Well, September 27th may be my eulogy.
And no, sorry.
The chops on the 24th, numbnut.
No, that's when he dies.
Oh yeah.
So
And
September
there's
27th.
no popcorn ads involved, so don't worry about that. Or I'm sorry, there should be millions of popcorn ads involved in that.
Great. Now I'm fun. But yes, guys, that was Ruthless LaLa. She's a couple days away from her match with Isiah Wolf at Pro Wrestling Magic.
Yeah.
Folks, if you have not got a chance to, I definitely recommend getting tickets for Pro Wrestling Magic on the 24th and also Invictus on the 25th. Because the main event for Pro Wrestling Magic on the 24th, we'll see Dan Moth taking on Darius Carter himself.
Yep.
Oh.
It's gonna be an incredible main event or incredible match. Yeah.
Yes. But guys, definitely stay tuned for that because next week we'll be doing a preview of all three shows because there's 3 shows that weekend.
Yep.
East Pro Wrestling that Friday. Pro Wrestling Magic
Wait,
that
hold on,
Saturday.
time out. What was the first thing that you said?
Ace Pro Wrestling.
Okay, you said it right. Good boy.
I'm not that. Then you have on.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that can. Anyway.
What? Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I would say the only other comment here. Oh, never mind. Great.
I was gonna say there's a lot of people that can say the opposite of what you said, but it's okay.
Oh, I know. Like I said, we have Ace Pro Wrestling on September 24th. The main event for that.
Yes.
23rd.
Ace Pro Wrestling. Let's try this again. This
Oh,
is
John,
live
you
free.
want me to do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Let the ring announcer do it. Yeah. Let the ring
Well,
announcer.
thank you, Mr. Costa. I appreciate you. And John, you're fucked. Anyway. So, September 23rd, Ace Pro Wrestling returns to action after 6 months of not being in action, where the main event of that night will be the current Ace Heavyweight Champion himself, I think going at 1,100 days as champion, taking on the 450-plus pounder himself, the Jurassic Juggernaut, Vince Steele. Woo-wee! Talking about a lot of beef in that match.
Yeah.
But also that night,
Yes.
we have Mr. Darius Carter taking on Sean Hart. Plus, we have Cade Lothbrock facing off against Dominic De Niro for the Ace Diamond Division Championship. Also, just announced, we have Rob Vegas taking on the one above all, Anthony Gangone, in a matchup. And so much more in store. September 23rd, Ace Pro Wrestling in Teaneck, New Jersey. And then September 24th, you got Pro Wrestling Magic, where John gets killed by Ruthless LaLa. So definitely, that's worth the price of admission right there.
Yes.
Taking place in Richfield Park, New Jersey, aka the New Jersey Elks Lodge, as I'm calling it.
I call it the
Fermez la bouche, Mr. Blaine. Thank you. On that night, they have tons of action in store. They have the women's champion, JC Storm, facing off against Vicious Vicky, I believe. You also have Darius Carter versus Danny Moff. That one's gonna be a slobber knocker itself, with another beefy boy, because we all know John loves beefy boys.
Yeah.
So much more. And then on the 25th, also in Richfield Park, Invictus Pro Wrestling presents its 2-year anniversary show called Magnitude, where we have a huge stellar card. Just announced actually earlier today, both of them making their return to Ace since the last show, the showcase show back in August. How about Jack Tomlinson versus Landon Hale?
Oh.
Also for the Invictus Tag Team titles, we have Fight or Die, which is Dominic De Niro and Chris Barton taking on the current Invictus Tag Champs themselves, the most succulent team in professional wrestling, Milk Chocolate.
Yeah.
You better keep your mouth there. John.
It's
Or
like,
I'll tell Milk Chocolate what you think of them in real life. That way you can get double chopped.
uh-oh.
Then, in the main event, I believe it's the main event. I hope. If not, then I don't give a shit. I think it's the main event in my opinion. We have Gabriel Sky taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. And so much more taking place on September 25th at the Richfield Park Sportatorium in Richfield Park, New York, a.k.a. New Jersey, because that's where everybody is fucking running, because that building is I'm not going to say what I want to say about the building. It's convenient for me, though. I love it.
Ryan, you forgot one thing.
What?
We forgot to tell everybody that he thinks Moth sucks as a wrestler.
Uh-oh. Hey, it's time to get Moth. What? Hold on.
Okay, I don't want to die. Thank you very much.
Hold on. It's time.
I never said about Moth. Moth is a very good wrestler.
It's time for somebody to get Moth on the phone. On the phone.
No. I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
You know, I did hear that.
Too late, John.
I did hear that rumor, Carl.
Yeah.
Too late, John.
Moth, if you listen to this, don't listen to them.
Moff, you know me longer than John. Listen to me.
And by the way, we're speaking about the Invictus show on the 25th.
Yes.
I thought I heard something about a certain podcast is going to be sponsoring said tag team title match.
Whichever podcast do you mean, Mr. Blame?
I think it has that one guy who's the main host who thinks he knows what he's doing,
but really doesn't.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's called the Around the Ropes podcast. I think they know what they're doing. But yeah, guys, it's actually one of our announcements that we can come up with now. We have plenty of other announcements to make at the end of the show. But yes, folks, it is one of the announcements. Is that we will be sponsoring the tag team title match happening September 25th.
Yay!
As Nero and Chris Barton take on the team of Milk Chocolate.
Oh, look at all that beef in the ring. What?
So, guys, you'll definitely, and like it was mentioned before, you will see. Oh, really? My name is Charmin? Really?
Oh, yeah. Guys, we forgot to tell you. John's name is no longer John. It's Charmin.
Jesus.
Considering how
Jesus
soft.
Christ.
Never mind.
Well, folks, we do have one announcement that we're going to be making later on in the show tonight that I will tell you this much. The other announcement we have, which we'll make at the end of the show tonight, is going to redeem myself for all this crap.
Mr. Peterson, if you want to use the other one, go ahead.
Let me in.
Hey, Drew Angles.
Oh, there's two of you.
Yeah, finally got my laptop working. Thank God. Now I can talk more shit about John without, a lag. There we go.
Did I just see two Mr. Petersons? Wow. That's an interesting.
Usually people pay extra for that.
Yeah.
On my OnlyFans. I'm just kidding.
What are you displaying? Not your feet, are you?
No. It's me eating Chipotle before I go live with you guys.
Or popcorn. But anyway.
Nah.
Hey, at least it's not White Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace, your colon after that. Anyway.
Can't we keep a little kayfabe? Can't we keep a little?
John, shut up.
You know when you do that, you sound like Mr. McMahon, don't you?
John, where are you? John, you're fired. That's right.
Oh, by the way, shut up, John.
Okay. Can we get back to the wrestling talk that we have?
No.
We do have wrestling stuff to get to, and not
We do?
the burial of me, because that's going to happen September 24th at Ritual.
Yes.
Ritual
It's
Park.
gonna be happening that whole weekend, folks. Just saying, it's not just a one-day affair; it's a whole festival of burial. It's the burial festival.
Exactly.
And anybody out there who's watching as a fan of me, just write in the comments, please.
We're gonna have a transition to the afterlife that's longer than the Queen's for John Blaine here.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Wow. Wow.
Wow!
The love I get from you guys.
That's all him on that one.
Wow.
Just joking, John boy. You know I love you.
Never thought of using the Queen in a sentence like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say this. I found Paddington Bear. Which, by the way, apparently they banned Paddington Bear, non-wrestling related, but I just saw the article on this. They banned people from laying the plush of Paddington Bear for the flowers for the Queen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear that.
That's weird stuff. Okay.
No, I can understand why, because if it rains and those things get destroyed, it gets moldy and whatnot. Whereas if they do flowers, the flowers kind of, but still, I'm like, wow, never heard of them banning Paddington Bear. So, John, sorry, you can't go to England.
According to some people, I know you can't speak the language here either.
It's okay. It's okay. There's always a chance that he'll fall off another donkey.
Costa.
I'm joking.
That's a joke that if you know me, you get the reference to that.
Yes.
So,
But,
you have that shit.
yeah, let's get back into wrestling talk
Let's get wrestling. Let's get to wrestling. Let's go.
as we wait for our next guest to join us. But guys, before we get into what happened, let's kind of rewind a little bit. Apparently, I can't speak English now as well.
Rewind.
Yes, apparently I can't speak right now.
Right now.
John, you can never talk.
I didn't say that, yo. I didn't say that.
No, God said that.
Yeah.
Yes. Or as I call him, thewish.com Mr. Clean. Yes.
I can't say it on here. It's too mean.
Okay. All right.
It's probably something you've said to me before.
Multiple times.
Okay, wrestling. Let's get to that, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah, wrestling.
Yes. As we found out on Wednesday night on Dynamite that both CM Punk and the Bucks with Kenny have all been stripped of their titles.
And just yeah.
Well, that suspension part is interesting that you bring that up. Because I just read something prior to the show tonight through Fightful.com. Who was it? Kenny, Christopher Daniels, and Nakazawa apparently were set to be off this week anyways because they're in Japan right now, supposedly.
Yeah.
Do you know none of the people suspended? Like I said before, folks, you have it was Kenny, the Young Bucks, Pat Buck, Christopher Daniels, Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah.
Obviously, that ain't Steel and CM Punk. Is there somebody else I'm missing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, that's it.
Do you know none of them know how long their suspension is?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The theory that people have is that it's going to be as long as the investigation lasts.
Because they called in a third party for that one.
And you know who's running that third party, apparently?
Who?
Apparently, the rumblings is they tried to get a neutral party involved in
Yeah.
this whole situation. And supposedly, the person who's running the third party is a certain Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Really? No.
I don't know how much I buy into that.
No, that's not. I don't believe that.
But yeah. Yes, Mr. Carl?
So you're bringing up about that incident. Well, Full Gear is coming up in November to Newark, New Jersey, which is their next pay-per-view.
On November 19th.
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks have been taking off that show.
Oh yeah, so I was like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Except I noticed one thing though, Punk is still on there.
For now.
The latest poster I saw, I think Punk is still on that poster.
I think for now. Yeah.
1 second, where was it? Yeah, they are no longer being advertised.
So maybe this investigation will be longer than people think.
Maybe into the new year.
But the funny part that I found interesting, Tony Khan goes on screen to open up Dynamite, or he was in that opening segment.
Hold on. CM Punk will not be there because remember, he did tear his tricep in that match with Moxley.
Well, they don't know.
So
if it
he's
was-
out 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, but Carl, they don't know for sure if it was in that match or if it was in the brawl that happened.
He probably tore a little bit of it during the match, and the brawl probably extended it.
The brawl probably made it worse. Yeah. Definitely.
But neither the Elite nor CM Punk is on the new poster.
Wow. Okay.
Again, that doesn't. That's a good thing if I'm AEW because especially with Punk, the more and more I'm trying to realize he is becoming a cancer to that locker room.
Yeah.
Now, I actually want to bring something up to you, gentlemen. I told John about this off camera, but this talks about AEW and pay-per-view and whatnot. So, if you gentlemen don't mind,
Right?
Go ahead.
Mr. Meltzer, in this past week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, the total pay-per-view buy estimate for this past Sunday's All Out is less than what it was last year. Because keep in mind, last year, they drew over 205,000 buys. This year, they estimated between 135,000 to 142,000. That's a big difference from last year.
Yeah.
Now, granted, live crowd-wise, they drew a little over 9,000, 9,100 to be exact, and over $1 million at the gate, making AEW becoming the second North American wrestling company in history to do 3 $1 million dates in a calendar year. Now, some people are saying it's now. Obviously, one of the big things is that last year's All Out was CM Punk's first pay-per-view match in 7.5 years. That was really what the main draw was.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying that it's because, of Labor Day weekend. Some people are saying that it's because of the Clash at the Castle and Worlds Collide.
No.
So let me bring it up to the floor and to you, the viewers.
Yeah.
Why do you think there was a massive, drastic change from 205,000 to, I'd say, roughly 145,000 in less than a year on pay-per-view buys?
I'll tell you why.
Costa, you go first.
If I may go first.
You go first.
So I think it goes back to what we've discussed before. Like AEW has an issue right now with bringing in the casual fan, right? So obviously us as wrestling fans, we're gonna sit down to watch any prominent wrestling event, right? But for AEW to survive, they're gonna have to bring in stars that they normally don't bring in. Like, I mean, stars from outside of wrestling that they don't normally bring in, right? Just to gather the casual fan. So I think right now that's the problem. And people are starting to now realize that there are chinks in the AEW armor that are starting to show. As we can see, what happened after All Out is an example of that, right? So I think people are starting to realize that it's not all hunky-dory, or if that's a saying, if it's not all hunky-dory within the AEW locker room. And I think that has something to do with it, if that makes sense.
John?
I think a lot of it.
John, next question. Here we go. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, John.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, look at their ratings, and that's one thing I always talk about on the show. You have a company that they hit $1 million at one point and then dip back down. Look at what Monday Night War, and I always look, and I don't like to compare Monday Night War with AEW Diamond. I'm confused.
I guess we have some breaking news, I guess?
Yes, breaking news. This is actually non-wrestling related, but it is something severe. This is coming out of Boston, Massachusetts. Northeastern University had an explosion that injured one. The university has been evacuated. There has been a pair of suspicious packages that were unconfirmed reports of an explosion and minor injuries to at least one person. They are investigating 2 packages that have been left near the University Holmes Hall, which is home to the Northeastern's creative writing program. However, individuals on scene did report that one person has been injured. This is an ongoing investigation. When further information is set forth, we will put it out as soon as if we are still live on air.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Producer.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how the hell to follow that one. Well, I'll try to follow it as I can.
Yeah. Go on with what you were saying here.
I think people, you know how people always say that AEW was in the honeymoon stage?
It's over.
I think it's over for them. I really think it's over for them. And I think what we saw after All Out was what Punk said. And I give Tony Khan credit for what he did by vacating both the World Heavyweight title, which will be crowned in 2 weeks, next Wednesday at Arthur Ashe Stadium. But I think the fact that you don't know about the suspensions, the fact that Punk is still on that roster, and from what I'm hearing, he rubbed people the wrong way. And I think now you're starting to see the issues here. And if I'm Tony Khan, I don't have a fucking temper tantrum bitching and complaining about what WWE's doing. I'm more worried about the fact that I have a show that for a while was doing pretty good, and then Hunter came over, took over WWE, and now we're seeing what truly AEW is. And I think now it's starting to trickle over into their pay-per-view buys.
I've been saying this for months on my end. The day that they took MJF off TV, beginning of June, that's when I saw ratings decline.
Yeah. Yeah, that has something to do with it too, yeah. The fact that, okay, here's another point that I'm going to make to you guys. So when a wrestler is off TV for a long period of time, not certainly in MJF's case, but in other wrestlers' case, when they're off TV for a long time, it's very, very difficult to get that fan base reinvested into your character. So I know that we're all happy that MJF is back. I'm definitely happy about that. But in terms of AEW as a company, keeping him off TV has had, as you said, Mr. Peterson, has had major ramifications in terms of their ratings.
And not only that, it's making a little stick in their locker room also, On top of with Punk being what he is. But also you're forgetting two key things that happened, especially after All Out. Number one, supposedly Christian is injured.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be gone for a little bit. And two, Malachi Black is gone.
Yeah. And
You
then
guys
don't
think,
forget the
sorry,
third-
about Malachi, you guys think that Triple H is gonna do something to get him back into the WWE?
Knowing him, he's probably gonna try.
Yeah.
But
Because I know Zelina's there, right? I know Zelina's there.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. She's not really used as much.
I know.
I think she's, last I heard, she sustained an injury.
No.
Yeah.
Except the one thing I do give Malachi credit for, if you notice in any pictures he's taken, his right eye is always closed, or he barely sees it.
Yeah.
Because he's playing the whole thing about the eye match he had a number of years ago in WWE.
Yeah.
But I just think the problem is that the issues that we're seeing on TV are starting to trickle into the pay-per-views. Because I think the other thing also, how many times have we had TV where they have 6-star matches that should be on pay-per-view, but Tony Khan is giving them away on free TV?
Way too often. Like,
Yeah,
perfect example. I'm sorry to cut you off, Costa. Perfect example.
It's
The
okay.
trios match between the Death Triangle and Aussie Open. Holy shit!
Yeah.
That was a pay-per-view worthy match.
Or like, I'll give you another one. When they announced that they were going to have Best Friends take on Death Triangle, Dynamite.
Yeah.
Why do it then? Why couldn't you do a tournament or do something, prolong it?
Or if they wanted to be those two people, why not do it at Arthur Ashe on your biggest stage?
Yeah, I think that's half the problem. Is you have somebody like Tony Khan who is sitting there and giving away these pay-per-views like they're nothing, giving away these matches on free TV like they're nothing.
Yeah.
And speaking of AEW, I know AEW tomorrow night makes its trip. I think it's its debut
Yeah.
in Albany
Yeah.
at the MVP Arena. Folks, if you are watching us, I definitely recommend, if you can get tickets for it, I definitely recommend going. While you're there, also, there is a little Hall of Fame. You walk up the stairs on that first floor.
Yeah.
Called the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Definitely want to check them out. You also, there's a very good, if anybody who's going there wants a good recommendation of a good restaurant, if you're coming out of the arena and you make the left, there is a shrimp place literally right next door to the arena. That is fantastic. Carl and I had a chance to eat some stuff there while we were up there a couple weeks ago. Definitely recommend people going to that one if you're into that type of food. But yeah, folks, to everybody who is going tomorrow, we know a few people who are going. Have fun. Definitely want to hear what it was like in that arena. Because like I said, AEW's never done one. Or AEW hasn't done one yet before tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong on that.
No, you're correct. It's their debut. It's their debut. Yeah.
It's their debut, right?
Yeah, it's a debut.
It's their debut. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, folks,
And then next week they're back at Arthur Ashe, which I hate to say this, it does not appease me so far.
I know. Me
you have Swerve in Our Glory taking on the Acclaim for the tag titles,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the winner.
Finals.
You have the finals of the World Heavyweight Title match, the World Heavyweight Title tournament. Is that night?
But still, compared to last year, it's not appeasing me at all.
No, I'll be happy to sit at my house and watch it from my house.
Yeah.
Same here. As much as I would really love to go to Arthur Ashe, but unfortunately, no.
Honestly, the next AW event that we go to is when they come back to UBS Arena.
Oh, absolutely. UBS Arena is great.
That would be one I would definitely want to go to. But like I said, folks, to the people who we met when Carl and I were up in Albany, you're going tomorrow. to AEW, have fun. We would love to see, you know.
And say hi to a good friend of the show, Mike Falvo, as well.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Mr. Falvo will be in attendance. I think at the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. But definitely, I recommend that big time. And definitely take a walk around the Hall of Fame. Carl and I, like I said, Carl and I had the opportunity to be up there the day it opened. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to walk the Hall of Fame, but we saw pictures and stuff, and we were there for the induction that weekend. And the stuff they do up there is fantastic. So I'm giving Seth and all of them a very big shout out on this show.
May I bring up one more thing about CM Punk, if you don't
Yeah,
mind?
go ahead.
Okay, this is a like something I want to post to you guys. So, what do you think changed? Like because a year ago when CM Punk debuted on AEW, everyone was so happy to have him back. Like all of us fans were so happy that he's back. All the wrestlers within the locker room were so happy to have him in their company. So, what could have changed from a year ago to now? You think Punk went on a power trip, or is it something else that happened between that time?
Punk went on a power trip.
Really? Just like that.
I think I'm gonna go as further as he became the AEW Lesnar.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because here you have Tony Khan, who has no experience in wrestling whatsoever, and he's letting his talent, help write the stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
And as they always say, never let the inmates run the asylum.
And I think the other problem is also if you put that type of situation in WWE, and I know people make comments about Vince would never have allowed that to happen.
No. Vince would never have
Vince would never have allowed that to happen.
And neither would Triple H. I mean, he asked for their opinion, but at the end of the day, it's his storyline, right?
Yeah, exactly. But let's keep it going because the other story, speaking about AEW with the Elite, there was some rumblings out there last week that supposedly the Young Bucks sent out feelers to the WWE that they would be interested in talks with WWE once their contract expires with AEW at the end of next year. So first of all, do you guys think it's possible that we could see the Bucks? I'm not even saying Kenny, I'm saying the Bucks right now. Could we see the Bucks possibly in AEW in WWE?
You know what? If you don't mind, may I?
Yeah, right ahead.
You know what? I'm speaking from my perspective. So my perspective is, as long as they maintain their position as EVPs of AEW, man, you know what? I really don't see them going anywhere. But things can. This is a fluid situation, so things can change. But as of right now, I really don't. Despite all the drama, I really don't see them going.
Costa, I'll tell you right now, if I'm AEW, I don't give them their EVP statuses anymore.
I know. But I'm saying, I mean neither. But if they still have them at this point or at some point, right now I don't see them going to WWE. But like I said, things are fluid and things could change at the drop of a dime. So we'll keep updated on that.
Ryan, what about you? What do you think?
I agree. Like not giving the EVP status. I think that also went into their heads.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
What I do like about AEW a little bit right now is that I think, in my opinion, I think they have the best trio when it comes to handling that locker room now.
Oh yeah.
Which is Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
That's a little trio right there, in my opinion. That should have been the trio since Bryan came into AEW.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Carl?
So, the Bucks actually sat down with David Meltzer over the weekend. And they adamantly denied the rumor that they sent out the feelers.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It is a
there's still-
rumor that's been going around.
well, they're still under contract with AEW, so I see them vehemently denying any
However,
rumors.
the Elite show is on hiatus right now.
Well, yeah, because also Brandon Cutler is suspended as well.
That
Oh,
was
yes.
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
that was the
Collins.
other one I was trying to think of before.
I found that out by because I always have a notification that on my YouTube page of when the episode is available for being the Elite.
Yeah.
And this was around like 1, and usually I get it around like 12:30, 1 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock and I didn't get anything, so I went into the actual BTE page on YouTube and saw that nothing was new. I'm like, what is going on here? And then reports came out later on the day and later on that night, and also during the day today, that it's on hiatus.
Yeah.
And Brian, just to let people know, what's another channel you can find on YouTube?
Could it
Get
be
around the ropes.
Could it be the ATR network?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right. The ATR network is on YouTube. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Get that bell notification for that way you can see us do our live spiel. John making an ass of himself as always. And also, folks, you can do that way we do sometimes our little YouTube exclusives where we can occasionally drop one in from time to time. So definitely get that bell notification to see those exclusive YouTube exclusives.
And I also have another bit of breaking news here. Okay, no breaking news. Thing there going. Okay.
Breaking news!
Despite the fact that we're on Facebook and Twitter, you can now find the Around the Ropes podcast page on Instagram.
Oh, yes. Instagram is the
Go
place.
to Instagram, type in Around the Ropes. Hold on. Let me double check to see exactly how I phrased it.
Folks, coming in spring 2023, the ATR Network and the Around the Ropes podcast will officially be on OnlyFans.
Oh, dear God.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to be on OnlyFans.
It is the Around the Ropes podcast on Instagram.
Yes. Yes,
We-
we're on there.
Around the Ropes podcast.
Definitely give us a follow on there. That's where you will get the graphics for the shows, any future guests that we have come up. Because, folks, towards the end of the show tonight, our final announcement is going to be a massive guest for us, happening on October 11th. You're going to want to stay tuned for that one because, folks, that's going to blow your mind away to who we landed for the show.
All
Oh,
right.
yes.
But yes, we got that, and then I want to get to WWE quickly because there was one thing in WWE that did kind of spark my interest a little bit, and that was the Kevin Owens promo. That
Oh,
cut
that was
off
a hell of a
Theory.
Oh, my God.
I love that shit.
I'm just gonna say this right now, Kevin. If you're watching this, can I hire you as my motivational coach, please?
Well,
Holy
we all
crap.
need a bit of motivation right now, so.
To me, that was a fantastic, a fantastic promo that he cut on Austin. And he wasn't wrong with what he said. Where he basically turned out, he said, you were the chosen one, but the person who chose you isn't here anymore.
Yeah.
But the line that I liked, though, was when he turned around and he said, look, he said, you can either be the person who makes opportunities by what you're given, or you can make opportunities by what you make.
What you earn, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, what you make. I was paraphrasing his exact line there.
Yeah.
But the point is, you can either sit there and wait until opportunities are given to you to
Yeah.
make moments, or you can take life by the balls, twist it, and take control of what you have to in life.
No, I won't say it. Anyway,
And
I understand.
that's why I loved his promo.
Yeah.
I really did. I think with Austin Theory though, at this point, it seems like every time he goes to cash in, either he gets blocked or he gets punched out cold, like we saw at Clash at the Castle when Tyson Fury went to go punch him.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you guys this: as far as with Austin Theory, do you guys think he will? And for the people who watch it, can this as well. Do you guys think he will? That he will cash in, or is this going to be a situation that we saw with Otis a couple of years ago, when all of a sudden he gets into a program with somebody and he ends up putting the money in the briefcase on the line?
I think it's gonna be another Otis type situation where eventually, like right now he has it, but eventually he'll lose it to or something will happen and he'll lose it to somebody else, and they'll decide to switch their decision in giving it to him and give it to somebody else eventually. Yeah.
Well, while we're on the topic of Monday Night Raw, I do have a little bit of breaking news, per se.
All right.
Mr. Producer. So, and actually there's two breaking news stories. Let me get this one out of the way first. I don't need the graphic right now. So the first one is, based on what happened during the closing moments of Monday Night Raw, it looks like a top star will be off TV for quite a while. Last night's episode was main evented by Edge and Dominic Mysterio. Edge went through with the match despite the pleas from Mysterio earlier in the show saying, "No, don't face my son," and the whole spiel. Towards the end of the match, Ray jumped into the ring to plead with Edge not to spear his son. The rest of the Judgment Day attacked, and Edge was taken out by several chairs to the leg from Dominic, and then a coup de grace on top of a chair from Balor. Jimmy Smith then immediately said that it looked like Edge's leg might be broken. The angle came across as a way to write Edge off TV, since these type of attacks are usually done to give someone time off. Now remember, Edge is not on a full-time schedule, so he could be going on vacation for a few weeks or a couple of months, and then resume the storyline when he returns. Now the question to you guys is, if Edge is indeed taking time away, the real question is, who will step up to help Ray fight off the Judgment Day?
What was the last part of it?
Who will step up to help Ray fight off the Judgment Day?
Thank you, Costa. And Q-Tip, if you're listening, please sponsor this guy. Please.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I mean, they can always have Riddle do something. He's not doing anything right now.
Riddle? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of one right now off the top of my head.
I know it's kind of tricky right now.
Yeah.
But also, on last night's Monday Night Raw, there were new champions crowned.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm surprised about that already. Yeah.
As Dakota Kai and Io Sky defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah with some help from Bayley at ringside. After the match, the champs celebrated on the stage, and they got a huge pyro display, basically blowing off the rest of the budget they had for the night. This was expected. This was the expected result a few weeks ago originally, but the decision was to go with the babyfaces at the time.
Yeah,
I guess to build up the 6-woman match at Clash at the Castle.
Yeah,
That doesn't.
They won it in Toronto, didn't they, or not?
No, last night they were in. No, they were not in Toronto last night.
No, not last night. I'm saying Aaliyah and Rodriguez. They won it in Toronto or not? The tag team titles.
No, it was whatever the final Raw was before they went over to the UK.
Oh,
Buffalo?
What?
Wasn't it Buffalo?
I don't remember honestly.
No, I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out if that has something.
But I think the next thing they're set up for is Bailey to take the title off of Bianca.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. And also, according to WrestleVotes on Twitter,
Yes.
the following was stated. The situation with the world titles and Roman Reigns is quote-unquote complex, according to a source.
Yeah.
They would like to go into quote-unquote Mania season and WrestleMania itself with 2 champions. But they also don't want Reigns losing at all prior. I'm told Triple H and Co. are open to all things creatively here.
That's I think I tweeted that too. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting that they say that right now.
I still think what they're going to do is they're going to have him drop the WWE Championship
Yeah.
and let him run.
At least one of them. Yeah, at least one of them.
I don't see him dropping the Universal title. I don't see him. I see him dropping Universal after Mania.
I see him dropping the WWE one first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now the trick is against who? Because we thought it was going to be Drew, and obviously they're going to want to go with Drew.
Maybe have Theory actually cash in because he's on Raw, and Raw needs a champion.
Well, I got another one for you.
Well, hold on, hear me out. Have him okay. If they really want to play a massive swerve like this, have Theory cash in at Survivor Series in Boston, and then the following night on Raw, while he's celebrating, look at me, I'm the champion. Whoever is worthy enough for a title or a title shot, have somehow say nah, you're not champion enough, because if you were a real champion, you would put the title on the line tonight. Kind of egging him on. He puts the title on the line. It's the Raw after Thanksgiving, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
What a way to start the holiday season. Then by theory, the champion loses his title the day after he cashed in and won.
Well,
you think it's gonna be AJ Styles?
No.
Maybe.
I got another name.
Who?
How about Seth Rollins?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I heard he was going to go. I heard he was going to go against Lashley though. So
yeah, but the thing is this: people are forgetting this year's Survivor Series is actually an anniversary.
Our anniversary. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 10 years since Rollins debuted on the main roster instead of Roman.
Yeah.
So how better would it be to have sort of like a TLC match or even ladder match between, because somebody actually put out a scenario over social media, and I looked at it and I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think Roman's working Extreme Rules.
No, I don't think so.
I think what you do is you set something up where Seth becomes the number one contender, have Seth challenge Roman for a ladder match.
Okay.
You have, Seth is countering everything that Roman is doing, this, that, and another thing. All of a sudden, the Usos come out, Solo Sikoa comes out, Sammy Uso comes out.
Sammy Uso.
Well, hold on.
That's not. I don't think that's gonna last too long.
I have a strong feeling about this, and I've been reading some of the stuff about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about Sammy turning face and teaming with Kevin Owens?
Yes.
Because I hate to say it, the Usos are going through every single tag team right now in WWE. So why not put like a random team together, even though random, but they have tagged with each other in other companies and have very well been successful. Just saying.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, and John, can somebody explain what the hell was this last night?
What?
John.
Raw USA.
John.
Oh,
the technical difficulties shit.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
The whole screen went black.
I don't remember ever seeing that at all. And I think John froze, I think.
I know. I think he froze.
Yeah, he froze.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I've never seen that ever.
Yeah.
I think it's funny it happened during almost his match.
Yeah, I thought he did. I thought he like damaged the equipment or something. But anyway,
did he step on the wrong wire when he was walking to the ring? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
That was funny. That was funny. I was like, I hear them talking, but I don't see anything on the screen. What the hell is happening?
Some people are saying it could be a work or whatnot. Oh, and also WWE followed a trademark. An interesting one.
Oro
Mensa.
What do you think that means?
I don't know.
That's an interesting name.
Apparently this individual is debuting on NXT 2.0 next Tuesday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And also, I apologize if I'm not looking at the camera, folks. I'm just reading my notes here from our producer of any stories that I missed.
Okay. No worries.
Also, apparently, there's another person coming to NXT named Sol Ruka.
Really?
Hey, guys.
Oh, look who's back.
Barney's back. How are you?
So, getting back to what I was saying before, somehow you froze on me and had a glitch.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the hell this was?
Yeah.
I thought almost did something.
Folks, you can almost say that's what we just technically had, was a technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Welcome to Not So Technical Tuesday here on the ATR Network.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? But no, I don't know if that was a work.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. You can tell. Sometimes, most of them, you can tell when it's a work. I don't think that was a work. That wasn't a work.
I mean, if it was, then good job of like trying to get people talking.
Exactly. I don't know. Okay, why? Okay, if you think it's a work, if you think it is a work, then why would they do that? Just to get people.
Whose match did they do it to?
Oh, almost.
Trying to bring viewership, saying, "Oh, let's tune in and see what happens."
Yeah. Mr. Producer, what can?
On tonight's NWA, it is official. Mr. Matt Cardona versus Bully Ray.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's taking place at Battleground in December.
Yes. Matt Cardona opened a can of worms, picking on a ECW original.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
All I'm going to say is we will be doing a solemn reminder of Mr. Cardona when that match is over.
Oh. A little bit of breaking news. I don't need a graphic for this one. I just happen to see it. From New Japan Pro Wrestling. After huge demand for the Rumble on 44th Street, which is taking place on October 28th at the Palladium in Times Square, they announced that they are doing another event the night before at the Palladium. And tickets go on sale Friday. It's called The Night Before Rumble on 44th Street, and it's taking place on Thursday, October the 27th. Because folks, the Rumble on 44th Street apparently sold out in minutes.
Speaking of October,
guys, I think.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Costa.
No, I was gonna say. Speaking of October events, it will be the debut of AEW in Canada. October 12th is Dynamite, and October 13th is Rampage. Unfortunately, I could only get tickets to Rampage, so I will be there on October 13th. If you guys want to come and say hello, yeah, feel free to do so. I will be there, and I'm still trying to figure out what I will be doing if I will be doing anything for October 12th. So, but I will be there for Rampage. If any of our viewers want to come say hello, please go ahead and do so. Thank you very much.
And also, speaking of events in October, after receiving confirmation over the weekend, I can publicly announce this.
Yep.
On October the 9th, yours truly will be the voice of FWF Live from Richfield Park, New Jersey.
Hey.
Ridgefield Park Sportatorium.
Shut up, John. I will cut you. I will cut you like a cinnamon roll. But, yeah, no, October 9th, I am back. Not back. I am debuting with FWF.
Congratulations.
I feel like you live at that the Ridgefield Park Sportatorium.
And they already announced one match already for October 9th.
Okay.
Triple threat action. You have the current FWF champion himself, DSK, taking on, defending his title against Smart Mark Sterling.
Yep.
And Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
Oh. Wow.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
And there'll be plenty of other surprises. From what I'm hearing, this is just a rumor. There could be some sort of redeemer probably showing up.
Uh-oh.
That's all I'm going to say at the moment. Don't say it out loud, John. If you want to say it off camera.
Yeah.
No, oh.
Oh my God. Okay.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Well, I guess we can leave the best announcements for last.
Yep. Would you like to lead into the announcements, John Boy?
Yes.
All right.
Guys, I can now confirm that myself and the producer there, Mr. Clean from Wish.com, will be at Baltimore Celeb Fest 5.
Yep.
Happening the weekend of October 15th. Guys, we will be there. It will be an honor to be there. And it's going to be a fun weekend. But folks, you think that's the big news? Oh, no. Now, normally we don't do this with promoting guests in this nature, but being that how big this guest is that's coming on our show on October 11th right here on the Around the Ropes podcast, which you can catch us live every Tuesday night, is an actor from a television show that many of you guys might have heard of. Anybody have heard of the little show called Cobra Kai?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Guys, you have seen this actor on several television shows, including Cobra Kai. He was in Karate Kid Part 3. He was in a ton of soap operas, as I have learned, including General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, and a slew of others. Guys, on October 11th, making his debut on the show, will be none other than Sean Keenan.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
If fans of the Karate Kid may know him also as Mike Barnes. So definitely that's going to be a fun interview. And I'm also going to throw this out right now. If you would like to ask Mr. Barnes a question, Sean a question, obviously you can by hopping into YouTube or Facebook. But you go to Twitter and use the hashtag ATR Cobra Kai. We'll take questions from there as well.
And we'll put all this on our other social media, so you guys can.
Absolutely, we definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely will. But we have, though, especially Sean coming on the show is a very big get for us.
Oh hell yeah!
So yeah, guys, I think it's safe to say we can wrap. Unless anybody has any last minute things they want to get to.
Nothing really.
No, it's all good.
Mr. Producer, if you want to hop on screen for a second.
Oh,
yes.
oh yes. We forgot something.
We forgot
Yeah,
another announcement.
yes.
We did
Yes.
forget something. Yeah.
And the big announcement, saved for last.
Hold on. I think we should let Carl say this one because you forgot all about
Yeah,
it.
let Mr. Roberts say this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to announce that in the few coming weeks, this podcast will have their very own coffee line. You want to stay tuned? Because you know what? We are working with one of the best coffee companies there is. They are called Motor Oil Coffee Company out of Albany, New York. Folks, stay tuned to our social medias because as soon as they go, they're going to be hot. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that.
Yes, you definitely are. So, guys, we have a lot coming up. We have a lot of stuff coming up.
Should I announce my little announcement so our viewers can know or not yet?
You got a big announcement, all of us right now.
Okay, so I will soon start recording my very first show. It's a music show. It's going to be called What is a Hit Record? So the purpose of this podcast is going to be to talk about the daily happenings and the weekly happenings within the music industry, and also having fun questions like, what are your top 5 albums or top 5 artists? So in the coming weeks, you will see a new show on this network called What is a Hit Record? Thank you very much. And that's one of two shows that I'm working on. The next one, I have to wait a little bit to confirm, but one of two shows is the What is a Hit Record podcast coming to the ATR network very, very, very soon. Thank you very much.
And actually, Costa, thanks for reminding me because I'm actually trying to work on the side show myself, actually.
Oh, tell us about that if you want.
John, you know this. Like, 'cause I brought this up to actually John and Carl. You both know this because I brought this up to you before in the past.
Yeah.
So, much like Mr. Costa, I too am starting a little podcast. Well, not a little podcast, a little show with my other partner, co-host, cohort, whatever you want to call him. Both of us are part of the. Shut up, Carl.
Okay. All right. You can.
Yeah, just think of Darius Carter chopping your chest, Carl. I wouldn't be laughing, John.
Okay.
You got LaLa coming after you, so I wouldn't be talking. No. Me and my friend / co-host, Mr. Ryan Gross, are possibly going to. Well, we started it up, but we haven't done it in a while because our lives have been a little busy. But we're looking to start up again and possibly bring it on here. It's our review of Broadway, because one thing that some people may know, some people don't know. I love musical theater, and so does he. And if you follow me on social media, you notice in the last 5 months I've seen literally almost like 25, 30 shows. Oh.
Yep.
So we decided. So we thought, we do this. It's in the works, but it'll be hopefully if these two, these two allow it to come on as a potential YouTube exclusive.
You know what my feeling is?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
It's welcome here. It's welcome here for sure.
Since we're talking about this, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up something that we're going to have a YouTube exclusive about. We are going to have a YouTube exclusive about domestic violence. Most people talk about it, but you know what? Sorry, boys. This is going to be a tough subject for a lot of people. Got to be said.
Yeah.
We're not pulling punches here. We're not going to be like, oh, we're not going to talk about it. Bullshit.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of YouTube exclusives coming out of different topics that are very controversial to a lot of people that need to be said.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I have one more announcement to make then.
Okay, go ahead.
John, we know you have no brain. What?
Another YouTube exclusive that we have coming up with Mr. Freddie Coleman on ESPN Radio.
Ooh.
We'll be sitting down with him next Monday to talk about the world of sports.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of the AFC South, I feel sorry for you.
So.
That will be dropping probably sometime middle next week. So you definitely going to look forward to that. Again, folks, anything that we have coming up, we will definitely put out on our socials. You can find us on Facebook or on Twitter, and we're now on Instagram.
Yep.
And soon we'll be on MySpace.
John will have an OnlyFans.
I hope it only shows his feet. Maybe not even that, but it's okay.
And
Okay.
Wow, you got him to keep quiet on that one.
And like I said before, folks, the weekend of September 23rd, 24th, and 25th, there's a lot of shows happening in the great state of New Jersey. You have Ace Pro Wrestling on the 23rd, Pro Wrestling Magic on the 24th, and Invictus on the 25th. I bring up Invictus because you are looking at one of the sponsors for that show.
Yep.
John, you forgot about something else with Ace. We are the sponsors of their tag team match.
Yes. Folks, like I said, we have a lot of announcements coming up.
We have.
Unfortunately, we'll try to put them out on social media in case you missed the announcements.
Yeah, since John keeps forgetting all the promotions that we are part of, yeah, we'll put it on social media for you guys to check out.
And folks, like as I stated earlier, on September 24th, come to Richmond Park and see John get killed by Ruthless LaLa. That is worth the admission alone.
Yep.
John, we forgot to tell everybody what's going to happen at Slugfest.
Yes.
What did we forget?
We will have our very own T-shirts.
Oh,
Merchandising.
We will also have stickers.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Spaceballs, merchandising.
We might even have the coffee then.
Yes.
Let's make our own lunchboxes. Who knows?
You might see our faces. You might see our faces on a whole bunch of promotional material. Who knows? We have a lot of things in the works here. So
we might. I'm saying this now. We might have our own hot sauce.
Oh shit! I can't wait to burn my. Never mind.
Okay. I don't think we have any more announcements to make.
No, we're good. We're good.
You sure you don't have an announcement, John?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
I'm confused.
When are you not confused?
Aren't you always? I'm
On days that, what was the other announcement that apparently I forgot?
Forget it. Nope. Not gonna say it.
Say it.
Nope. It's for off camera.
John, do I got to make another notification?
this is the time where the soundboard would come in handy. English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Now.
No, John knows what I'm talking about.
You have a couple of different people you can.
Emotional damage.
Last night,
Oh,
Casa, let's go to you for final thoughts.
and I have one last
Okay, go
that
ahead.
just confirmed.
Go ahead.
say that
You
for the
are
phone.
now the proud sponsor of the main event for Pro Wrestling Magic,
Yeah.
which is Darius Carter, the champion, versus Danny Moff.
Oh, good Lord Almighty!
Okay, so
For all the doubters out there, we are definitely making something of ourselves. Thank you for doubting us, but this show is definitely going places. We appreciate all your.
Casa, here's the best way I can phrase it. To the people who doubt us, who don't think we're doing anything. Actually, you know what? I'll save that for final thoughts.
All right.
Casa, you go first. Final thoughts. And where can you find you on social media?
All right. So my final thoughts for tonight is that we had a great show with a lot of great announcements at the end. Also, I want to reiterate that AEW is coming to Canada for the first time in a few weeks. October 12th is Dynamite, and October 13th is Rampage, which I will be there, 100% confirmed. If any of our viewers want to say hello, you can come find me. I'll be around in that building. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all your support, and we have more fun things on the way.
All right, let's throw it over now to Brian. Oh wait, Casa,
Oh yeah, Costa, you're where can people find you on social media?
Oh yeah, on social media. You can find me on Twitter at Costa Pagneris. That's KOSTAPACHNERIS, or just write in the search tab road to riches.ca. That's ROAD, the number 2 riches.ca. All one word.
Change your damn Twitter handle.
I will. Sorry for the delay, guys. Sorry for the delay. That's on me. And only me. But,
all right.
Go ahead.
Well, now that we just had our Sesame Street segment with the alphabet just now, you can find me at Twitter, right down there. It says at Ryan_MC. Great show tonight. You know, John always, doing what he always does and forgetting shit, which is normal. We all forget shit. It's been a crazy technical fuck up Tuesday for all of us.
Yeah.
Where you can find me, Instagram at WrestlingMC, and also this Saturday I have Creative Pro Wrestling in Melville, New York. A huge card. Follow me on social media for that one. The following weekend, Ace Pro Wrestling on the 23rd and Invictus on the 25th. October 8th, WrestlePro in Brooklyn. And then October 9th, FWF Live. October 15th, I can actually now confirm this because I got confirmation. October 15th, I'm back at Staten Island with Warriors of Wrestling. The 16th, I'm back at Invictus Pro Wrestling. I know, that's soon already. The 29th, I'm with Colossal Championship Wrestling. I have a feeling I'm missing something. November 12th is WrestlePro's 100th event taking place at the Wildway Rec Center, where we can confirm we have Wheeler Yuta on the show. And also a match announcement, Sean Donovan versus CPA in a barbed wire match. And, one last thing. Liz, call me.
Oh, God.
Next.
Let's go to Carl. Okay, fine. Guys, obviously, you can find me. I'm right there at John_Plain. As far as final thoughts from me, Casa kind of alluded to them before, but you guys heard all the offers we have coming up. Between the coffee, the t-shirts, go down the list of what we have coming up. And I know these guys pick on me and whatnot, but we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without any of them. none of this would have happened without any of them being a part of the show. And I am grateful for every one of them. I'm grateful for everybody who's watched the show, who's been a fan of the show. Because without you guys, we're nobody. You guys make us who we are. And to the people who doubt us, continue to doubt us. To the people who are backing us up, we appreciate that big time. But know this right now. We will continue to grow this show, and this show will hit levels that I don't think any of us saw, especially me, when I started this crazy show almost 9 months ago. But again, let me throw it over now to Carl for his final thoughts.
So my final thoughts is you can find me right here on Twitter, but also too, just because 9/11 happened 21 years ago and everybody came together then doesn't mean we can't come together now. Everybody needs to help everybody. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. You love everybody the same. Also, too, help the elderly. Whether it's a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, or a neighbor, or a stranger. Help. Also, too, show your support to your first responders, which is your fire, police, EMS. And please, show the love to the military because they are the 1% of the country that signs up for that signs over that blank check to Uncle Sam for their life. Okay? They're the most underpaid people in the world. So support them as much as you can. And that's my final thought.
Again, we reiterated before, you can find us now on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram. Basically, just search Around the Ropes podcast. You can find us pretty much everywhere. The network right now, we're still on. Right now, we're on Facebook and Twitter for the network. At some point down the road, we'll be on more platforms as well. Again, guys, appreciate Ruthless LaLa for joining us tonight. We appreciate that big time. Coming up next week, we do have one guest confirmed. Not sure how that whole thing is going to work out. We have him come on a little bit earlier, got to see. But we'll keep you guys posted on our socials. And again, like I said before, everybody who's supported us, we are thankful. We appreciate you. Everybody who's doubted us, continue to doubt us. Continue to be a non-believer. Eventually, you'll see that we mean business. And again, stay locked into all of our social medias for all the latest news regarding pro wrestling, independent scene, and anything we have. But for Costa, Brian, and Carl, I'm John. It's been another installment of the Ruthless podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.
Peace, guys.
Let's go.